Hello, welcome to Get Your Mind On. I'm Lori Stohs. This is our final part of our series in mentoring, and today it's going to be talking about being a mentee. Now, you may think about being a mentee and go, gosh, am I still a mentee? Well, of course. We can be a mentee at any age. Sometimes you may think a mentee may be younger, but you know what? We always are growing and learning and expanding. And if you have the desire to do that, being a mentee at all points in your life is very important. If we just think about the journey of life, think about life and all the things that we go through. You know, I'm entering the empty nest stage here in a few months. That's a new stage for me. That's a different time of my life. And to know that I have people to go to who can help me through that time and help me think about what I need to be doing and how I can work through that, being an empty nester. There's other things and times in our life, right? It could be that individual that you are a little bit older in the generation. All this new technology goes too fast. And what is all this language and these words and how does this all work? And, I have my old flip phone. I don't have my iPhone and all those apps. What does that mean? What's a Wi-Fi phone? All of those kinds of things. Asking a younger person even to be your mentor is an important thing. So when we think about being a mentee, what does that really mean? A mentee, one is one who has a willingness to learn and grow and expand, whether that's character and knowledge or skills. And so really being wanting and being open to learning and wanting feedback. So first we have to think about what is it for us. One is we have to really understand why we want to be mentored. And what are we looking for in that mentoring? So I think that's first something that you might think you need to be a mentee, but I think it's important for you to define what that is for you. What does that mean in terms of what are you looking for and why do you want it? I think that's critically important. The next thing is then how do you go about it? There is a piece of courage within this to think about being courageous and asking for the mentoring relationship. If you're not in an organization where there is a formal mentoring process, is how do you go about asking people? And I think that's why it's important to be clear on what you want. So when you have that courage to ask and that courage to step up, because normally, many times it will be somebody at a higher level, I think it's important to tell them why that you would like them to be your mentor in addition to the content. And the next thing is thinking about when you go through that mentoring process, what does that look like? You need to first know who you are. That's the other thing that's important is knowing who you are so you can share that with the mentor. I think it depends on how close a relationship with you have with that person. They may know you really well or they may not know you as well. So I think it's important for you to be able to go to them and say, this is who I am. This is what I do well. This is what I struggle with. Here's some of my successes I've had. Here's some of my challenges I've had. And I think that's really important to spend some time getting to know each other very well at the very beginning. And the mentor, of course, will guide that. But I think it's important for you to be aware of what that is for you. The other thing is listening on your end of when they give you information, what you do with that information and how to ask questions and follow up with it. I think that's important. So I would call that kind of the application of the information. The mentor is likely going to give you some work to do. Do your work. To do the coaching, to get time with someone, you have to respect their time. If they're spending time with you, you need to respect their time. You need to do your work. Just like coaching. I have a coach and I've always had a coach. And so I know when I'm not most successful with my coach is when I don't do my work. And I have to carve out time to do that work when I meet with that mentor. And I have to be organized because I want to respect their time. Now, of course, it's a free-flowing conversation, but you want to make sure that it's a respectful relationship between the two of you. I think the other thing is it's not just one mentor. So depending on what's going on in your life, I think it's important that we have multiple mentors. And again, it might not all be at the same time, but it might be a different type of mentor. So you might have a mentor for a role at work that you're looking for in terms of you wanting to be promoted, or maybe want to learn cross-functionally about an organization. It might be a mentor in terms of being a parent, that you need somebody to reach out to help you be a parent and how can you go through some of the challenges of life in raising children. It could be a mentor that you need from a spiritual perspective, that you're really wanting to grow in your faith and expand in your thinking around spirituality, and you might tap into someone for that. Or it could be health, right? It could be that you want to run a marathon and you've never done it before, but you have a desire to. So who can help mentor you through that process? So I think it's really important as we think about being a mentee, all of those things that we've just discussed. It's a way for us to really go beyond our standard, work, day-to-day work with our manager and get feedback. Unfortunately, and I will say, not all managers are great managers, and not all managers are great mentors, and not everyone is a great mentor. So I think you really have to step back and say, if I want to grow and expand and meet a goal, how do I find somebody else in my life that could be part of my constituent group that could help me? So for positive charge, let's think about, if you were a mentee, what would you be looking for in a mentor? What is the content you are seeking? What type of person is the best fit for you? And what is your goal that you would like to achieve? I think being a mentee is an important thing, growing and learning and expanding, seeing a new perspective from people. But I know sometimes it's hard to get started, so just have the courage and know that there's lots of people out there who really are willing to want to help people learn and grow. You just have to go out and ask them. Thanks for joining us today, and remember to get your mind on.